It seems that in the movie industry lately, every studio wants to create a cinematic universe. With the amazing box office success of the Avengers movies, everyone wants to give it a try. DC's doing it, Lego's doing it, Universal's trying to recreate the classic monster movies as a dark universe. Trying, but no one seems to match up with Disney, who has practically perfected the art. The Marvel movies, the Star Wars movies, what could be next on their list? No, we don't talk about those. This is cartoon conspiracy. Guys, think about it. What movies has Disney been making for years that don't officially connect but all come together as their own franchise? Princess movies! I'm Arielle with Channel Frederator, and today we're talking about the possibility of a Disney princess cinematic universe. The Disney princess line has been growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and there is no sign of it stopping. Though, it's certainly evolved over the years, hasn't it? As the times have changed, what the audience wants to see has changed. And Disney adapted by switching focus from highlighting dainty traits of women like fair, sweet, and gentle, to embracing the spunky, fiery, and adventurous spirits of girls. Nowadays, princesses are more than just the poofy dresses. They've been given imperfections like clumsiness and awkwardness, but they also face off against their own villains. They fight, they have their own powerful magic. Plus, some of those gentler princesses of the past have been reimagined with some of these qualities. Do you see what we're seeing? What we have in front of us is a collection of badass female role models at the ready, in a world that is right now just begging for more heroines. We believe that this has the potential to lead us into an upcoming princess movie similar to a superhero team-up. A giant crossover for them to come together and face a common enemy. Is this what Disney's leading us up to? Would they really go through with the idea? Could it work? Was it their plan all along? How? Why? Who? What? Let's discuss. Why don't we start with the question of how? I already hear you yelling through the screen. They couldn't all team up. Every princess is from a different time period, dummies. While this is true, they also come from time periods from a fantasy universe. A universe that has most definitely established itself as a magical place. Impossible things happen all the time. Just have an all-powerful witch or wizard character create a time portal, Hyrule Warrior style, and bring all the girls together. Easy as that. Now we ask, why? Why is this a possibility? Why am I even talking about this? Why would they even make this movie? I'll tell you why. It's very simple. 3 reasons. It's trendy, it's fan service, and most importantly, it makes them money. Disney wants your money. And you will give it to them to see a movie like this. You know you will. And it will do great. Especially if they give it a Broadway-style soundtrack. It just works. Ugh, it's so manipulative, but I love it. Now, who? Who would be involved? Particularly in Disney's recent films, we have our computer-generated or CG princesses. Tangled with Rapunzel, Pixar's Brave with Merida, Frozen with Elsa and Anna, and finally, Moana. Disney is currently in an era known to fans as the revival, and it has been completely dominated by badass leading ladies. If you think about a movie potentially starring the 5 of them, they would all fit together pretty seamlessly. I mean, stylistically, they all look like they could be from the same film. I dare say they were all altered from the same 3D model they used in Tangled. Look, I know computer animation is hard. Also, looking at their skills and abilities, they are probably the most likely to give you a crossover similar to a comic book flick, meaning they could possibly give you a movie with a lot of action. But is an action film really on brand for Disney's princess image? Like how Disney tries to present all of them as a whole? I mean, the group's theme song is If You Can Dream. Imagine that as a dubstep remix playing over a boss fight. It'd be awesome. No. To play it safe, a princess crossover would probably lean more towards the adventure. Not to mention, an adventure flick would be way more inclusive. Not every Disney princess is a fighter, but arguably they're all adventurous. Tiana had a huge adventure. She survived the Louisiana Bayou as a frog and faced Dr. Facilier on her own. Kida, if she were invited, would be a great addition to the team. Hey, I can dream. If I can dream. Same for Mulan, obviously, no question. Those two are not only adventurous, but they're warriors. They could beat up the princesses of today. Not that I condone that, but they could. Pocahontas is a bit of a daredevil. She's strong and fast. Jasmine's seen some action in the Aladdin TV show, so she's plenty capable. Belle wants adventure, so does Arielle, who had plenty of it in her TV series as well. So, you know, screw it. The original princesses should go on the adventure too. Cinderella's a low-key badass and she should be recognized. And Snow White. she can be the cute one. So here's what I think. If Disney wants or wanted to make a princess crossover movie, the least complicated and most exciting action-filled route would be with the revival girls. Only every princess was in the same 3D style. I mean, imagine trying to paste the 3D and 2D princesses together in their different styles for a film. They just wouldn't blend. I feel like that would just totally wreck it. If only. It's called foreshadowing, kids. Moving right along, what would a princess crossover be? As mentioned, more likely an adventure, and likely with a common bad guy. Let's focus on the bad guy. Who would they face? It's hard to say when you only consider a movie involving the recent handful of princesses. But if we go back to our thought of involving all of the princesses, including the originals, it is a very safe bet that their big baddie would be Maleficent. Maleficent has been an enemy across Disney universes for a long time. She led the villains in Kingdom Hearts, for example, and in Disney World too. She is constantly rallying up the other villains in the Halloween shows, and she's faced off against Mickey and other heroes in shows like Dream Along with Mickey and Fantasmic. Even in Disney Channel's Disney Descendants, she's the one in charge of the rest. We can safely assume that Disney canonically sees her as their all-ruling, all-powerful queen villain. Note that I didn't bother to mention earlier what Aurora would contribute to the princess team. Well, she's the one who brings the conflict. Maleficent, the problem that she couldn't handle on her own. And what would Maleficent want with all of them? I don't know, maybe she was jealous she wasn't invited to be a Disney princess. She gets salty about those kind of things. Disney's really into being meta and self-aware about themselves these days. Maybe she'd break the fourth wall and try to destroy the Disney company's most precious franchise, one leading lady at a time. She could go back to the beginning and kill the one who started it all, Snow White! Wow, I am getting Turtles Forever flashbacks. You remember that video? Or they can keep the fourth wall intact and they can magically come together through magic and stop Maleficent from taking over the world in the most epic and creative way possible. Look, I can't come up with something creative, but you can, Disney. You made it work for Once Upon a Time for like 2 seasons. You can do it again. So is this what Disney's been scheming? Obviously, this hasn't been the plan from the beginning. It's not like Walt Disney foresaw Snow White baking with Tiana. Did they plan it with the revival? It's highly unlikely. The cinematic universe trend began, I guess you can say, with the end credits of Iron Man in 2008. If not, then the Avengers movie itself in 2012. Tangled came out in 2010, and around that time Disney was mainly focusing on reinventing their princess image, with adjective movie titles. Disney Animation has really only seen legit crossovers in various TV series, video games, and theme park attractions, never in their movies, except in Easter egg form. It's not exactly what they do. But now, with the cinematic universe fad in full force, Disney totally owning it, has the idea been put on the table recently? Do you think an Avengers-style Disney princess crossover is coming? Is this what Disney sees in its future? So, kind of random, but I'm going to talk about Wreck-It Ralph. Now, Ralph here has got a sequel coming out in November of 2018. It's called Ralph Breaks the Internet. So, instead of going through different video games, in this next movie, he and Vanellope von Schweetz end up visiting different websites. Stay with me, I have a point. In the 2017 D23 Expo, a scene was unveiled where Vanellope ends up on ohmydisney.com, and she actually meets all of the princesses. All of them, apparently in Wreck-It Ralph's CGI format. Let me repeat that. All of the classic Disney princesses have been modeled in high-quality CGI animation format to match the modern ones. So all of them are in the same style, in the same room, at the same time, in the same movie. They got all their voice actresses back to reprise their roles too. The fact that we're getting at least a scene with all of them all together is insanity enough. But let's bring it back to the topic at hand. Disney now has all of their favorite leading ladies 3D modeled and at the ready at their computers. They know all of the voice actresses are on call for whatever projects that they want them for. I mean, look at any interview picture of these ladies together at D23. They love this stuff, and so do the fans. The fans absolutely flipped their lid at this reveal. Disney has everything they need to make for a cinematic universe. All the pieces are there, everything and everybody is ready. You ever heard of Princess Academy? The 2D animated short film starring literally every Disney female to ever grace the silver screen that was pitched in 2009 only to get scrapped because the 2D department was tragically shut down? Everyone who has heard about this is devastated that it didn't happen. It really should have. You can redeem yourself, Disney. If you're not planning a full-blown movie outside of Wreck-It Ralph 2, You should be. Vanellope can come too. I've even got one more thing for you before we close this off. Walt Disney Pictures president Sean Bailey said in an interview with Deadline, "We were seeing Marvel and its superheroes with a very male focus, and the same with Star Wars. There was opportunity with the female audience, and we had a lot of big characters here that we consider to be ours. Marvel has Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. We have Cinderella, Snow White, and Belle. Boom. The other girls are seen in the same light as the other two successful cinematic universes." What does that tell you? I don't know about you, but it tells me that this theory should be rated with 3 poofy princess gowns out of 5. Is that a good number? Because you know, the more dresses a princess wears, the more toys will sell. They all need at least 3 outfit changes in this movie. They'll make millions. I'm telling you, it's all about the money. Do you want to see all the Disney princesses in one big epic crossover? Do you think it could be done well, or does it sound dumb? I want to see you write in the comments what you think the plot of a princess crossover would be like. I'd love to see what ideas you come up with. Want to see more videos like this? We're always questioning what people behind our favorite cartoons are plotting behind the scenes, so if you don't want to miss it in the future, click that subscribe button. Click the bell too if you'd like to become part of our notification squad. It's fun. Also, again, my name is Arielle, like the princess. I am also known as R2 Ninja Turtle. You can find me under R2 Ninja Turtle on all social media, including Instagram, DeviantArt, YouTube, whatever. As always, peeps, thank you so much for watching, and remember, Frederator loves you. Actually, if Sean Bailey's in charge of Walt Disney Pictures, he might be implying that we might be getting a cinematic universe involving all those live-action movies they're making. God damn.